to protect reproductive rights for women all across Michigan. She cut taxes for seniors. She created jobs in the auto industry. She invested in students. She protected our freedoms. Big Gretch got a whole lot done in Michigan. I couldn't be more grateful to have her as a dear friend, a colleague, and as someone who has shown governors the way on how to make meaningful change in their communities. Governor Whitmer, thank you for being here. It is so good to be home. This is the community that raised me. This is the community that taught me so much. I love you all. This is the community where I went out and knocked on 18,000 doors in my neighborhoods in Abington and Upper Delta. Your fears, and you told me about your hopes, and you sent me to the Capitol to fight for you, and I've never forgotten the lessons you taught me. This is the community where I was raised, and the community that, on my amazing wife, Lori, Pennsylvania's First Lady, sitting right over there. She and I have chosen to raise our 4 children. And we feel blessed to be here. This is the community that showed me the way, that taught me about 3 simple letters in the alphabet that I reflect on every day. Governor Whitmer talked about it earlier, GSD. We focus on getting shit done. And as your governor, we've invested more in public education than at any other time in our Commonwealth. Better schools for our kids, safe communities, because we learned you can invest in police and you can make meaningful criminal justice reform. We've done both. When I was on your porches and on your doors, you talked to me about making sure we could breathe clean air and drink pure water. It's right there in Article 1, Section 27 of our state constitution, and we are delivering that here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You taught me the valuable lessons that everyone here in the Commonwealth, no matter what they look like, where they come from, who they love, or who they pray to, should have the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. And we have delivered on that freedom agenda for you as your government. But the most important lesson you taught me on those doors is the importance of being for the people. Standing up for the people over the power. You know who else stands up for the people every day? Kamala Harris stands up for the people every day. She sure does. She was a prosecutor, a tough as nails prosecutor, who went after dangerous criminals, but also had a heart to stand up for our victims. She was Attorney General like me, and let me tell you something. She wasn't afraid to take on the powerful. She took on those opioid companies. She took on the big banks. She took on the polluters. And when she looked them in the eye, she won every single time. But Kamala Harris, for the people, wasn't just in a courtroom. Kamala Harris, for the people, was in the halls of power, the corridors of power. As United States Senator, she never forgot those lessons She learned fighting for the underdog. She stood up every day as a United States Senator, fighting for the middle class, fighting every day for our working families. Kamala Harris, who chose our great president, Joe Biden, Pennsylvania's own Joe Biden. He chose Kamala Harris to not just campaign with him, he chose Kamala Harris because he wanted to govern with her and because he knew she was ready. Vice President Harris has been battle-tested. She is ready to not just be the standard bearer of our party, but to be the 47th President of the United States. She's not only ready, she's damn ready. You know who else knows she's ready? Donald Trump knows she's ready. And you know how I know this? Because he's afraid to debate her now. Do you see that? And it's not just because she's a skilled debater and a courtroom prosecutor who knows how to make the case. He's afraid to debate her because he can't defend his record. He's afraid to debate her because she knows the truth about how he failed as a president when he had the keys to the White House 4 years ago. I want you to think about it. I know it's hard to think about, but I want you to remember those days. Those days, I know, you got to think about it for a minute. Come on, man. Those days of chaos. Those days where you didn't want to pick up your phone and look because you just didn't want to know what he did that day. What alliance he broke across the world. What risk he was posing to our communities at home. The chaos that he injected into our lives. We don't want to go back to that, gang. We don't want to go back to that. Hell no, right? He's got a record of failure. Fewer people went to work in Pennsylvania when Donald Trump was president. Fewer roads got repaired, fewer bridges got built, and let me tell you what else there was less of when he was president. There was less freedom when he was president. Donald Trump packed the Supreme Court with his hand-picked extremists. And after he was done packing the court, one of the first big things they did was rip away the freedom from millions of women across this country. When he ended Roe v. Wade, Donald Trump did that. Don't forget that. It was more chaos, less jobs, and far less freedom when Donald Trump was president. And listen to me. He did that when he had no earthly idea how to be president back then. I'm serious. He didn't know what he was doing. And there were a whole lot of guardrails still around Donald Trump when he was president 4 years ago. I want to tell you why you should be extra scared today. Remember that same Supreme Court that he packed in order to rip away women's fundamental freedoms? That same Supreme Court, his buddies he put on, just ruled that the rule of law doesn't apply to Donald Trump anymore. They literally ruled that. He is dangerous. He is destructive. And the guardrails are off. And here's the other thing. He's told us what he wants to do. Y'all go crack open that whole Project 2025 thing. Go take a look at what his buddies and all his former staff wrote. That is, hold on, I'm going to repeat it. These are not my words, these are the words this guy in front wrote. That's some scary shit right there. That's what he just said. It's really scary. It is an agenda to take away more of your freedoms. It is an agenda to use the police and the military in this country to settle scores with his enemies. It's an agenda to pollute our air, and it's an agenda to undermine our public health and our public safety. It's written right there in that whole Project 2025. So the guy's more dangerous because he knows what he's doing. He's got no guardrails around him anymore, and he's told us what he wants to do. What Maya Angelou said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Believe them the first time. He's told us what he wants to do. And he has shown us who he is. He has shown us as a guy who doesn't love this country. He really doesn't. You see him every day. He's going on and on about all the bad stuff in this country. Let me tell you something. Here in America, we are producing more energy than ever before, giving us more freedom and more national security. Let me tell you something else. Our economy under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is growing faster, stronger than ever before, and we are kicking China's butt for the first time in generations. Let me tell you something else. Not just here in Pennsylvania or in Michigan, but this morning in America, more people went to work than ever before in our nation's history. This is a great nation. And so I got a message to Donald Trump. Stop shit-talking America. This is the greatest country on the face of the earth. Let's start doing it. I know that's true. You know that's true. He doesn't know that's true. He keeps talking us down, and he keeps trying to rip away our fundamental freedoms. I mean, at the left, you ever see this guy? Like when he's on stage, he kind of meanders over and can't really walk well, and he goes over to the flag and he hugs the flag, and I love the flag, but it's a weird thing he does, right? But while he's hugging the flag, you know what he's doing? He's ripping away our freedoms. That's what he's all about, because here's what I know. It's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read. That's not freedom. It is not freedom to tell people they can go to work, but they can't join a union. That's not freedom. It is not freedom to tell women what they're allowed to do with their bodies. Because I was Attorney General when he was trying to stop your votes from being counted. It's not freedom to tell people they can go vote, but he's going to pick the winner. That is not freedom. And that is what we have to stop. You know what we believe in Pennsylvania? We believe in real freedom in this Commonwealth and in this country. You know who else believes in real freedom? Kamala Harris believes in real freedom. Kamala Harris, she believes in the kind of freedom where we invest in that young girl's public school because we know if we give her a shot, she can make a real difference in life. That is real freedom. Kamala Harris knows we got to invest in public safety to keep our communities safe so that young girl, when she walks to school and home, she can get to and from her mama safely. That is real freedom. Kamala Harris knows real freedom means giving everybody in every community, especially communities that have been hollowed out and left behind, economic opportunity. That is real freedom, and that is what we are fighting for. Kamala Harris knows women need to have the freedom to make decisions over their own bodies. Kamala Harris knows people need to have the freedom to marry who they love. I say marriage. That is real freedom, and that is what we are fighting for. Now, Donald Trump sure is dangerous. And we've seen how close these elections can be. 55,000 votes between Pennsylvania and Michigan back in 2016. It's scary what he's proposed in this project 2025. It's scary that the guardrails are off. But let me tell you something, friends. I'm more optimistic than ever before. Because this is a nation that's already freed itself from a king. And this is a nation, and this is a commonwealth that has a unique relationship with freedom. It was here 248 years ago, just about 15 miles from where we are right now, at Independence Hall, where patriots decided to declare independence, where patriots gathered in taverns, town squares, decide that they wanted to be able to choose their own future, their own destiny. That work was here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the birthplace of democracy. And that work continues and falls to us today. Go back and look at the trajectory of the American story. Over the last 248 years, it's been patriots who have gathered in those taverns, in those town squares, and today on TikTok. I'll laugh about TikTok. That's an important place to gather. But it's been ordinary Americans coming together, rising up, demanding more, seeking justice, seeing something wrong and trying to make a right in their communities. You see, the story of America, the progress that we have made here, hasn't just been made by powerful people with titles next to their names. It's been made by all of you, deciding that we want to go in a different direction, deciding that we would stand up to kings and instead stand together with patriots. You see, the reason why I am optimistic is because we have been here before. And as a nation, we have always come through it. We have always gotten better. We have always gotten stronger. We have always gotten more just as a society. And so the task falls to each of us now. So pick up the mantles from the patriots who came before us and do that hard work right now to protect our freedoms. Do that hard work right now to stand up against those who would rip it away. And do that hard work right now to make clear who we are as a nation, what we value as a nation. Listen, Kamala Harris's name is going to be on that ballot. And I, for one, am going to be pushing that button for Kamala Harris. This election isn't just about a name on the ballot. It's an election about all of us. And what it is that we're willing to fight for. What it is that we're willing to work for. And what kind of future we want to build for our children and our grandchildren. Well, I don't know about you. I want a future that is cleaner and greener. I want a future with better